bowl season chugs along. We reach a very significant milestone for the Three Technique family, at least, as we get to Wednesday, December 28th. That is one Garrett Turney's birthday, and he gets to celebrate with just a plethora of bowl options, starting with the Military Bowl. It's Duke, it's Central Florida, 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN on Wednesday, December 28th. And Garrett, it was just a fantastic year one for Mike Elko and the Duke Blue Devils. Don't think many people saw this coming. An 8-4 record. I will shout you out. They were certainly, you were on that bandwagon, but I don't think even you saw 8-4 coming. I think we
No.
were, best case scenario thinking they could make a bowl game at 6-6, but first year coach for a team that's won a total of 5 games in the 2 years before he got there. They have the 64th ranked roster in terms of talent, according to 247, but they had top 40 units in scoring on both offense and defense. They relied heavily on the ground on both sides of the football. They ran the ball well, they stopped the run, and they go up against one of the best rushing attacks in America as they take on the UCF Knights, who they average over 236 yards on the ground, eighth best in the country. They have 3 rushers who've eclipsed 750 yards on the ground this season. So, really, an unstoppable force meets an unmovable object. And this game might not end up being explosive enough through the air, but there's going to be plenty of entertainment on the ground as both these teams go at it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's kind of where we start. Duke's formula for winning here, I think, really just comes down to their defense being able to force turnovers, especially like you were saying in that ground game. It's no secret that that's where we're going in this one. Both teams are going to want to run the football, especially UCF. The Blue Devils this year won with a plus 14 turnover margin. They had 24 total turnovers on defense to only 10 on offense. And amazingly, they recovered 15 fumbles on the year. So the majority of those you'd expect in a pass happy, college football, you'd expect a lot of interceptions, but a vast majority of those turnovers came on the ground. There's only one game this year where they did not force a turnover. These large margin wins, they come, when they get short field, lots of possessions, lots of ability to kind of go where they need to go with the football. And on the flip side, the Knights, they've lost 13 fumbles on the year, so they're a team that can cough it up at times. I think in a closely matched game, similar styles, two teams that I think match up really well against each other. Duke needs to be able to flip the field a couple times to be able to catch UCF, a little bit on a shorter field, see if they can't jump out in front and force UCF to be a little bit explosive on the air. On the flip side, UCF is going to win this one if Plumlee can play and be explosive. Plumlee back half of the year fought through a little bit of a hamstring injury, and I don't think that the offense quite looked the same throughout. And if they're down their best player, there's almost no chance they can win this game. If he can't go, if he's not 100%, they're going to have to rely on Isaiah Bowser. He's a great running back, but I don't know that he's the kind of guy that you can, just say, put the team on your back, carry the team to victory. This offense could get really one-dimensional in a hurry if Plumlee is not back there. And this is a strong Duke defense, right? This is a really good unit for Duke. And I'm just not 100% sure that if they get that one-dimensional, they'll be able to pull it out. Flat out, they need Plumlee to play. They need him to be good. If he's on, he's one of the better players in this country that, almost nobody can stop when he's playing at his top. But if he can't go, if he's not at his top, I don't see a path forward for them to be able to win this game.
What's your score prediction?
I kind of went back and forth on this one. I kind of thought, which one am I more likely to get? I do think we're going to get a little bit more of a hampered Plumlee, and I do think Duke is the motivated team. I think that's what it comes down to in a lot of these games. Which team's going to be more motivated? Which team wants to be there more? I do think Duke ends up winning this game. I don't think it's a huge margin, and I do think it's fairly low scoring. So give me something like a 23-17, Duke coming out on top.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. John Reese Plumlee is a great athlete. He can make a lot of plays with his legs, but as we've seen down the stretch this year, as that injury has bothered him more and more, it's a hamstring injury, right? And if you're a running quarterback, that is a really tough injury to overcome. So hopefully the rest has been good for him. I want to see it before I can fully believe it, especially against a really good Duke defense that shut down run first quarterbacks this year a lot of times when they faced him. So I'm going with the Blue Devils as well. They cap off a magical year one with Mike Elko. I'll go something to the tune of 31-28. I think it's going to be really, really close, but Duke pulls it out. And I think Mike Elko is going to find himself at the top of a lot of coaching hot boards after this year one performance with the Duke Blue Devils. But Tune in, Military Bowl, 2 p.m. on Wednesday, December 28th. Should be a good one between a couple of really exciting teams.
Gracious him. How